In a quaint village nestled in the lush heartlands of the Philippines lived a young girl named Maria. The village was a picturesque landscape of verdant rice fields, swaying coconut trees, and the distant echo of carabaos plowing the fields. Maria's parents, Rosa and Pedro, were hardworking farmers who toiled from dawn till dusk, their weathered hands a testament to the life of labor they led. Despite their poverty, they were rich in love and dreams for a better future. Maria was a bright and spirited girl, her dark hair often woven into two long braids that swung as she ran through the fields. Her eyes sparkled with a curious light, and her mind was filled with dreams far beyond the horizon she knew. She yearned to continue her studies beyond the small village school, dreaming of high school and college in the bustling city. However, the harsh reality was that her parents could barely afford to keep food on the table, let alone pay for her further education. Every evening as the sun dipped below the mountains, Maria would sit by the flickering candlelight, devouring books borrowed from the village library. She absorbed tales of heroes and adventures, myths and folklore, and imagined herself in those stories, a girl destined for something greater. Her favorite tale was that of the legendary Maria Makiling, a Diwata or fairy guardian of Mount Makiling, who watched over the villagers and their crops. Maria saw a reflection of her own dreams in the benevolent spirit, wishing she too could change her family's fate. One fateful morning, while the roosters crowed to greet the dawn, a rare opportunity came knocking on. Word had spread about Maria's diligence and honesty, and they offered her a position as a house helper in their grand home in Manila. With a heavy heart but hopeful spirit, Maria bid farewell to her parents and the village she loved. She promised to send money back home and to study hard, even if it meant stealing moments to read after a long day of work. Rosa and Pedro, though saddened by the distance, were proud of their daughter's determination and courage. The Santiago household was a world away from the simplicity of the village. The house was a sprawling mansion with high ceilings, marble floors, and a garden that seemed to stretch forever. Maria's duties were demanding, but she approached each task with the same dedication she had learned from her parents. The Santiagos, particularly Mrs. Santiago, took a liking to Maria. They noticed her eagerness to learn, her sharp mind, and the way her eyes lit up whenever she spoke of her dreams. One evening, as Maria was dusting the grand library of the Santiago household, Mrs. Santiago walked in. She observed Maria's fascination with the rows of books and struck up a conversation. Tentatively, Maria shared her dreams of furthering her education, of one day being able to help her parents out of poverty. Mrs. Santiago was deeply moved by Maria's story and saw in her the potential for greatness. Without hesitation, the Santiagos decided to support Maria's education. They enrolled her in a prestigious high school in Manila and promised to sponsor her all the way through college. Maria's heart swelled with gratitude, and she vowed to make the most of this incredible opportunity. Balancing her responsibilities as a house helper and her studies was no easy feat, but Maria was unwavering. She excelled in her classes, quickly becoming one of the top students in her school. Her teachers admired her tenacity and her insatiable thirst for knowledge. Maria's weekends were spent exploring Manila's rich cultural heritage. She visited museums, attended folk dance performances, and immersed herself in the stories and traditions of her country. She particularly loved the evenings when the Santiagos would tell her about Filipino legends and folklore. These stories made her feel connected to her roots and fueled her determination to honor her heritage. One of the most memorable experiences was when Mrs. Santiago took Maria to the Pahayas Festival in Lokban, Quezon. The streets were adorned with colorful piping, rice wafers, fruits, and vegetables, celebrating a bountiful harvest. Maria was captivated by the vibrant celebration, the lively music, and the sense of community. It reminded her of the fiestas back in her village, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose to one day bring such joy and prosperity to her own family. Maria's journey was not without its challenges. There were times when the workload was overwhelming, and the pressure of her studies seemed insurmountable. But each time she felt discouraged, she thought of her parents' sacrifices and the faith the Santiagos had in her. She pushed through sleepless nights and exhausting days, driven by a vision of a brighter future. Her hard work paid off. Maria graduated from high school with honors and was accepted into one of Manila's top universities. She chose to study education, inspired by her own teachers and the dream of returning to her village as a teacher who could inspire and uplift the next generation. Years passed, and Maria's dreams began to unfold. She graduated with flying colors, earning a degree in education. With the support of the Santiagos, she returned to her village, not just as a daughter, but as a beacon of hope. Maria's return was a momentous occasion. The village gathered to welcome her, proud of the girl who had left with a dream and returned with the power to transform their lives. Maria wasted no time. She established a small school, ensuring that the children of the village received quality education. She also introduced sustainable farming practices she had learned, helping her parents and other farmers increase their yield and improve their livelihoods. Maria's efforts bore fruit. The village began to thrive, with children eager to learn and farmers adopting new techniques. Her parents, once weighed down by poverty, now stood tall, their faces glowing with pride and happiness. Maria's story spread beyond the village, inspiring many others. She was invited to speak at conferences and share her journey, becoming a symbol of hope and resilience. But despite her newfound recognition, Maria remained humble and deeply connected to her roots. One evening, as the sun set over the rice fields, Maria stood with her parents, gazing at the horizon. The air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant sound of laughter from the school. She had fulfilled her dream, not just for herself, but for her family and her community. Maria's story became a legend in the village, passed down through generations. It was a tale of a girl who dared to dream, who faced adversity with courage, and transformed her world with determination and kindness. Her legacy lived on, inspiring countless young minds to believe in their dreams and work tirelessly to achieve them. And so Maria lived her life surrounded by love, gratitude, and the joy of seeing her dreams come true. She had not only helped her parents out of poverty, but had also enriched the lives of many, proving that with education, perseverance, and a kind heart, anything was possible. In the end, Maria was more than just a girl from a poor family. She was a testament to the power of dreams and the enduring spirit of the human heart. Her story was a vivid tapestry of Filipino culture, tradition, and folklore, woven with threads of hope, resilience, and the boundless potential of the human spirit.